Hi, and welcome to the Managing Stress PD video. I'm Sarah Martin, the Student Services TOSA on the Behavior Support Team in Palm Springs Unified School District. Here's a welcoming quote. Stress is not what happens to us, it is our response to what happens. And response is something we can choose. Here are the talking points for today's PD video. First, we'll look at the rationale and why it's important to manage stress in the classroom. Stress doesn't only impact your students' emotional and mental health, it also affects grades, social interactions, and long-term success. Many students don't have the knowledge and skills needed to manage their stress. And for the teacher's stress level management, it's important that we manage our own well-being, as we cannot manage pupils and learning if we cannot manage ourselves. High stress levels negatively affect not only teachers' own well-being, but the well-being and academic achievement of their students. Stress is also one of the main reasons why teachers burn out and quit. So let's look at some strategies we can use to manage our students' stress. First, we're going to talk about some common causes of student stress. They include school, homework, extracurricular activities, social challenges, relationships, pressures to succeed, time management skills, sleeping and eating habits, and not taking breaks or practicing self-care. Some strategies that we can encourage students to try are to get sufficient sleep, build a support network, and have a healthy diet. Some strategies that we can implement in the classroom include guided imagery, exercise, intentional breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, listening to music, and mindfulness. So now we'll take a look at each one of these in a little more detail. Guided imagery is a mind-body intervention that involves evoking positive mental imagery to help invoke a positive effect. This relaxation technique can be helpful for calming the body, relieving stress, and combating feelings of anxiety. When you're practicing guided imagery, it's important to get comfortable, breathe from your belly, vividly imagine your scene, immerse yourself in the sensory details, and relax. In Palm Springs, we have Inner Explorer as a resource for guided imagery. There are also a multitude of videos on YouTube that have guided imagery for students. The next strategy that I'm going to talk about is exercise. One of the healthiest ways to blow off steam is to get regular exercise. Research has found that students who participate in regular physical activity report lower levels of perceived stress. While these students still grapple with the same social, academic, and life pressures as their less active peers, these challenges feel less stressful and are easier to manage. Consider ways that you can incorporate exercise into the daily schedule for your students. You could take the students outside for a walk to look at clouds or draw pictures of nature as an art lesson. You can incorporate exercise into math lessons and language arts lessons. And you can also plan to incorporate brain breaks or movement breaks into your daily lesson plans. Next, we'll talk about breathing. Guided breathing, also known as controlled breathing or counted breathing, can help calm the nervous system and increase oxygen intake during times of stress. This can lead to physiological changes such as lowered heart rate and blood pressure, reduced stress hormone levels in the blood, an improved mood, deepened relaxation, improved focus, memory, and alertness, increased heart rate variability, which is associated with mental health, fitness, and longevity, better sleep, soothed emotions related to trauma and grief, and reduced symptoms of asthma, depression, and anxiety. YouTube has a lot of wonderful resources for students and guided breathing. Here are some visual examples that you can take a look at. Next, we're going to look at PMR, which is progressive muscle relaxation. It involves tensing and releasing muscles in the body group by group in an intentional order to release tension and promote a sense of calm. YouTube has a lot of PMR resources for students, and it's really a simple technique where you sit straight, you visualize your body, close your eyes usually, and then you purposefully tense a single muscle, such as like your back muscles or your shoulder muscles, and then you release that tension. Another stress management strategy we can use for our students is music. Music can help kids lower stress in a number of ways, including releasing neurochemicals. Calming music can trigger the release of dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin, which help regulate mood and promote feelings of relaxation. Music helps to lower cortisol. Research has shown that listening to calm music can lower cortisol, the hormone associated with stress. It results in improving your mood and increasing your energy. We can have background music playing while our students are working independently, or we can have designated times throughout the day where we listen to calming music. YouTube has a lot of great calming music resources that you can look into. The next strategy I'm going to talk about is mindfulness. Mindfulness is a practice that can help students in the classroom calm themselves, focus their attention, and interact with others. It can also help improve academic, social, and emotional learning. Mindfulness is a mental state that involves focusing on the present moment while also accepting one's thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensation. It's a form of meditation that can help people become more aware of their emotions, actions, and thoughts. I know I've said it a lot, but if you do a YouTube search, you can find a lot of wonderful guided meditation resources. Now we're going to move into looking at stress management strategies for teachers, because stress is an everyday fact of life. The leading causes of stress for teachers include work pressure, student misbehavior, long hours, fear and worry, lack of job satisfaction, inadequate school facilities, and time. And it's important to note that during this section, we can address our stress more effectively if we know what's causing it. Some strategies that we can use as teachers are the same strategies that relieve student stress: getting sufficient sleep, building a support network, having a healthy diet, using guided imagery, exercise, intentional breathing, PMR, music, and mindfulness. We're also going to dig a little deeper and talk about body awareness. Differentiating between your external awareness and your internal awareness is how you can begin to separate the world from your physical reaction to it. External awareness is all the stimulation to the five senses from the outside world, and internal awareness is any physical sensation, feeling, or emotion that's inside your body. Often, we don't feel what's happening internally because we are so focused on the world around us, and identifying areas of tension in our body can take intentional practice from us. Body inventory exercises can help us become more in tune with what is happening internally. An exercise that you can try to differentiate between internal and external awareness is to first focus your attention on the outside world. Start with thinking, I am aware of. An example is, I am aware of the cars going by outside, the papers moving, the breeze blowing, or the blue carpet. After you become aware of the world around you, try to shift your focus to your body and your physical sensations, or your internal world. Think, I am aware of feeling warm, my stomach gurgling, and the tension in my neck. Shuttle back and forth between internal and external awareness. Think I'm aware of the chair pressing against my back, the light coming from the window, my shoulders hunched, and the smell of chocolate. Practice this skill during your free moments throughout the day. This exercise allows you to separate and appreciate the real difference between your inner and outer worlds. The next exercise is called body scanning. Close your eyes, starting with your toes and moving up your body. Ask yourself, where am I tense? Whenever you discover a tense area, exaggerate it slightly so that you become even more aware of it. Be aware of the muscles in your body that are tense. Then, say to yourself, for example, I'm tensing my neck muscles. I'm hurting myself. I'm creating tension in my body. It's important to note that all muscular tension is self-produced. Try to be aware of any life situation that may be causing the tension in your body and think about what you could do to change that situation. Next, we're going to talk about the stress risk assessment. Usually when we worry, we focus our attention on catastrophic outcomes, regardless of how likely or unlikely that outcome might be. The risk assessment form helps to lower our anxiety by accurate probabilities and making coping plans. Here is the risk assessment form. The areas that it has you fill out include the feared event, your automatic thoughts, your anxiety on a scale from 0 to 100, the probability of the event actually happening from 0 to 100. It asks you, assuming the worst happens, what could be the worst possible outcome? Then it has you designate possible coping thoughts and actions. Then you revise the prediction of consequences and re-rate your anxiety on a scale from 0 to 100. Then you list evidence against the worst possible outcome and alternative outcomes that are possible. Then you re-rate the probability of the event again from 0 to 100. And finally, you re-rate your anxiety on a scale of 0 to 100. Here is an example of the risk assessment for you to look at. In closing, I'd just like to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this PD video. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.